You're watching Kingston Now. Friends of the Farmer is an organization dedicated to the next generation of farmers and to raising funds and awareness in the community for educational programs while promoting commerce and access to local food sources. That's what you wrote, Tessa Edick, on your website. Tell me about that.
Yes, so Friends of the Farmer is an idea that started out of my food entrepreneur business, Culinary Partnership, which launches food products, which really came from an idea of launching products to the market from a company called Sauces and Love that I started in '99 and sold in 2010. And I realized quickly that when you're producing pasta sauce, if you source from locally or farms, it's a much bigger impact and better taste and better nutrition than buying from a can, say even from Italy, if it's 3 years old. So how do you get fresher food? How do you get more nutrition? And it put me into the space of thinking about the farmer and what they do and how we're disconnected from them. So the festival was an idea, becoming Friends of the Farmer.
Well, that's how this Friends of the Farmer started. It was a festival, Midsummer Festival, 2 summers ago, right?
Yes, in 2011, I started
in
a
Columbia
festival.
County.
Yes, in Columbia County at Copic Country Club. We started a festival. Friends of ours bought the country club and really just wanted a community center for people to be able to gather around this beautiful lake. And they started a farm-to-table restaurant, and we partnered together and put a festival together to bring awareness to where your food comes from and how important the farmer is in that chain. And somehow in our broken system of food, we've gotten so far away from that.
How many farmers do we have in this Ulster, Columbia, Dutchess
We have
area?
hundreds. We have hundreds. I've only been to about 150, but there are hundreds. And there's all kinds. You know, there's livestock, there's dairy, there's vegetable produce, there's lumber, there's all kinds of farming that goes on. There's grain, you know. It's endless, really, if you start to think about your choices for food and living. They're all around you. You just have to shift your thinking out of the super big box way of thinking and go back into your communities.
That's a big challenge, making that shift for people, because just before the cameras rolled, you were talking about getting 300 million people, the population of America, to start shopping, sourcing their food locally, which is it's a momentum that began 70 years ago with the introduction of the supermarket, right?
Right. So if we go back even further and think about victory gardens after the war and everyone planting their own food and celebrating their community, there's something in that we need to revitalize. We need to bring that back. And we've gotten so far away from our seed and soil, which is so important for nutrition, that we're fat, we're sick, we're thinking food is expensive, when really it's everything we need to survive. So Friends of the Farmer was a shift in saying, pay attention to where your food comes from. Meet your farmer. He won't dupe you. He won't trick you. He's going to grow from beautiful soil, beautiful food that leaves you full and satisfied. Isn't that really what you want, is to look and feel great because of nutrition?
But how does that translate to someone who has little time? They have to run to the supermarket and get something quick for dinner.
Well, I say, when did we swap convenience for nutrition? So if it's important for you to be healthy, it's important for you not to miss a day of work or have your kids healthy, if it's important for you not to spend all your money on supplements and diets and doctor visits, then I don't know, how do you value it?
So being a friend to the farmer, your organization, what does that entail?
So a Friend of the Farmer is sourcing from the farm, going to these farms. Not only is it a much more amazing experience than going to a supermarket, you meet people that make your food, you understand how it's made, you understand the importance of nutrition. The kids have a great time when they go to the farm. You can climb the tractor, you can dig in the dirt. You have this connection of your food source. It's so important. It's fresher. It tastes better. It's easy to do once you make the shift. But you have to understand that you're not going to go to the supermarket and spend all that time parking and in a line and rolling down aisles figuring it out. You're going to go with a list, and you're going to make your meals, and you're going to organize your food better so you feel better.
So I saw you on another television program with Dr. Sam Simon, who is, the head of Hudson Valley Fresh, is a consortium of 9 local family farms here in the Mid-Hudson region who make primarily dairy products. And he was talking about, you don't make a great living, you don't get rich being a farmer. You do it because it's a lifestyle. And part of Friends of the Farmer is taking kids and educating them about the possibility of becoming a farmer. Why do you want to do that?
We want to keep farmers farming. We want farmers to raise their replacement. And the only way that's going to work is if we consumers make food choices locally. And it is selfish why you're making those choices. It's taste, it's nutrition, it's all an experience that's great. But Sam is an integral part of putting together a consortium like that because they're paid more money. They're not paid base level of what milk costs. So actually, if we all source from them and they can get a volume, I call it the magic volume wand in my food entrepreneur hat of launching products, if you play into that volume, you will help them make money. It is farmer owned. They will get money back from it, and it tastes, their chocolate milk is dynamite. I live on it. It's a recovery drink, it's a breakfast, it's amazing. So Sam Simons is a good visionaire in that program, and I partnered with him because the kids said to me at the school, at the Harvest Club at Taconic Hills High School when I was writing my column, how do you get us better milk? We hate our milk. We want better milk. So Sam and I had a conversation. We had a conversation with the superintendent, and we decided Farm On Foundation, which is the benefactor of Friends of the Farmer, a nonprofit, could fund the difference so kids at school had better milk.
So in terms of turning them into future farmers, what kind of programs is Friends of the Farmer running along those lines?
So we're doing all kinds of educational programs. We're working with the school and Dr. Howard to try to figure out what's the best way to position education for viable livelihoods in agriculture. So one of those is working on a business program in the school where he has banned all junk food and fast food, I call it McDonald's, all the fast food after sports contests. So the idea is that the kids then can eat better, right? So we decided that connecting them by milk and going into other foods would be a better system.
So how does that program help kids become, how do your programs help kids become future farmers?
Okay, so the programs that we're doing, like funding the milk, and then we do a Camp Farm On, we're figuring out how viable livelihoods fit into our Hudson Valley lifestyle and living, right? And so we're funding programs, Camp Farm On, the kids go visit local ag businesses inside of a week, kids 14 to 18. They have to come up with profitable solutions for a Shark Tank that they then pitch to at the end of the week. So they not only learn planting, milking, all these basic farm tools, but they learn how to sustain the idea of profitability and making money and making a living, which is really important.
Terrific. Well, thanks for being here, Tessa.
Thanks, Jimmy.